It's deliberate evil in control of the world. And while the public plays video games and Second Life and watches Sports Center, and as the women watch their sitcoms, the globalists prepare for the mass culling. I think this is probably a big test where they're just going to see if we'll stand down while they bring Ebola in and spread it, then put vaccines in us. The vaccine's probably what we really got to look out for. And the National Institutes of Health is now saying we should all be forced to take the new Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Notice I talk about Bill Gates and how he's a eugenicist all the time and make films about it. And he gets up and gives speeches about reducing human population down to zero and stuff. And then everybody laughs at TED TV. They're not playing games. It's all hidden in plain view. And I just sit here going, does anybody care? Does anybody want to listen to me? Does anybody? And I used to harp on the government trying to train the military to attack us, but that backfired on them because the military is awake now. I used to harp all day on the militarization of police and all the preparations, but that's starting to backfire. They can show bad cops all day on TV to create a divide and conquer, but it's just a fact. That's why I talk about it. I didn't get this till about 6-7 years ago, that the police are now more awake than the public. The public, if we could only reach the general dumbed-down public, if we could only get to them. This country is under attack, ladies and gentlemen. The whole world is under attack. Two things I want to announce, and then we're going to go back to your phone calls and some breaking news in this McCain video. We've had a newsletter that goes out periodically with breaking news, and we have people that are writing at 7 in the morning, 9 in the morning, noon, 2, 3, and a lot of stuff breaks at 4, 5, 6 o'clock. That's the most important news of the day. And some people tune into the nightly news, but it just kind of fades off. We need to be able, with internet censorship and Facebook and Twitter not letting us send certain tweets and images and documents out, a way to reach you that's digital but also low tech, so we can send exclusive videos, exclusive breaking news, so I can send you like our own tweet. That's what tweeting is just a public email, short message. I need to be able to have connection to you. Over 20 years, I never saved emails. I never used them. I never really promoted them except for prisonplanet.tv members, because that's part of your subscription. And I've never done, one of the few places we're light years behind everybody else is having free newsletters and promoting and getting people to give us their emails so we can communicate with you. At least 5 days a week, I'm going to shoot, or the crew's going to shoot, exclusive videos on our servers, so we can't be censored as easy, because it's really getting bad, where as things get tightened down, we have a way to communicate with you. If they shut us off, I can still, from a terminal, send you a message or a video in the future. A message, definitely. So I'm going to shoot these low-tech, that is not fancy videos, quick videos on breaking news, every day in that no man's land between like 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock with the news, and send that to you. And if we got a document cam shot for TV viewers, radio listeners, just sign up, we'll send it to you. You can see the test yesterday of the underground insider, as we call it. Because email is kind of the underground of the internet right now. You know, it's the old tech, but it's one of the best ways. We send you a big, glossy digital magazine basically every day with exclusive audio, video, new news articles that are breaking, upcoming guests. So go to Infowars.com/newsletter, Infowars.com/newsletter, or we're going to tweet right now the link to Infowars.com/newsletter to sign up to get the free exclusive videos, newsletters, and articles. And it really is important that everybody go and sign up for this right now. I mean, I can have, 800, 700, whatever it is, million views on YouTube. I can have 3 million listeners a day, but for whatever reason, with talk radio audiences, they won't sign up for our Twitter. We have real Twitter followers, 300, 400,000, a million or so on Facebook or whatever. But for whatever reason, people just won't go sign up for the Twitter and follow Real Alex Jones so I can communicate directly with you real time when I'm out and about or whatever, or so the crew can, and they don't sign up like they should for the emails. So I'm saying do it, folks. Infowars.com/newsletter to get all this exclusive info, and then you can send it on to your friends and family. Email is still such a great way to communicate with people, and we've never really used it like we should. So Infowars.com/newsletter. You'll also get exclusive offers and promo codes and discounts on InfoWarsLife.com products, Made in 1776.com products, the clothing, all of it. So you help support us. We'll help get you a good deal as well. So Infowars.com/newsletter, or just go to Real Alex Jones and you can click through on that tweet, and please retweet that. I want to thank all of you that retweet our information, because that's where the establishment bozos are, is on Twitter and on Facebook and all these. That's where the victims of the mind control are. And so that's why we are trying to reach out to people through it. Separately, I launched this, I guess, last Friday. It's only going to run for 2 weeks. Very short contest, $7,500. First place, $5,000. Second place, $2,000. Third place, $500. But it isn't about the money. That just makes it interesting. Print off our free posters connecting Obama to Ebola and the open borders. It's just hashtag Ebola contest. Go to Infowars.com/contest. You'll find the article. And you can print off our big glossy ones. Go to Kinko's, print them out, color, black or white. Hang them up, shoot a video, put it on YouTube and one other platform, and help expose who's behind the Ebola. The Ebola. That's what it's all about. So take advantage of that. We'll then post the videos on Infowars.com. They will go viral, and it will help draw attention to what's happening. Will this contest by itself save the world? No, but it will have a big effect. So tie who is really helping this spread into it, so they get the political blame and don't get to power grab out of the whole situation. And then finally, if I was you, I would be bolstering my body's natural defenses. I would be trying to eat organic, get sunlight, vitamin D, vitamin B12. I think I'm going to even go out and get a prescription and start injecting vitamin B12, because the studies I've seen for immune system, it's like, and I got to take my kids into the doctor to see if I can get that done or something, because, this winter is going to be hell. I've never been a hypochondriac, folks, until a bunch of my family started getting killed by all these superbugs and stuff. It's bad. I've talked to medical doctors. I've talked to them on air, off air. You've talked to them. I'm taking colloidal silver every day. I didn't used to do that, the silver bullet. I'm taking Super Male Vitality to get my glands working. The DNA Force with the CoQ10, the Bio PPQ, all the rest of it this just makes vitamin C look like child's play. I am taking the Oxy powder to flush out my guts. That's 70% of your immune system. All available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. And your purchase of the lung cleanse and all the rest of it is what's making the entire transmission possible. And I'll tell you right now, at the rate we've been selling the InfoWarsLife.com products, we will probably sell out of most of these products. And then because of the way capital works, it'll take months to get the money and then reinvest it and get more produced, because we only use the highest quality organic products. And so it just takes some time to get the materials. We want to be the very best, win, 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 for good, reap what you sow, karma, whatever you want to call it. And so we want to have people know that our line of products is the very best. We've become so neurotic about not cutting corners that it's almost hard to even bring the products. I've even been having meetings about some of our less expensive lines that, look, do we have to buy the most expensive, super organic, totally perfect, no parts per billion of anything, when we then just can't even get it most of the time, and then we can't even have it? Can't we just be the best out there, not the most neurotic perfect? I'm just being honest with you. We really do put out the highest quality stuff. We do really jump through all the hoops. Because when we know we're a target of the FDA, we know we're a target of all the stalkers and haters and, people out there. And so we just go at the very highest platinum standard at the very best price, InfoWarsLife.com. Separately, support our local AM and FM affiliates. We got a lot of new affiliates, a lot of old affiliates. Become a sponsor. Spread the word about them. Thank their sponsors. Give them a donation, whatever. So many stations pick us up on the weekend, then they put us on weeknights, then we're on live. That's the pattern with almost every station. And then they sell a few years later. That's the other part of the pattern. It's ESPN. I don't just have a problem with people being obsessed with sports. I used to be a sports head. I used to play sports. You name it, soccer, football, baseball, softball. I'd be out at midnight playing baseball or out playing golf in the dark with glowing golf balls when I was a teenager. And then afterwards, I go knock on girlfriend's window. But the point is that all those energies of sports are meant to be put into business and life and family to win there. If the ball game was something you did on a Sunday or a Saturday or a Friday night and it wasn't your God, then it's healthy. But it's unhealthy now. And it's unhealthy that most of the stations we've been kicked off of, we didn't get kicked off of because of lack of money or ratings. We made them money, we had the ratings. Most of the stations that we have been on for 4 or 5, like we were on in Corpus Christi, took the station from no ratings to the top rated show, period, in the city for a year, a straight year. Same thing happened in Orlando. ESPN came along with a contract and money. And it wasn't about ratings. It was just I've been taken off over 100 stations by ESPN. Imagine the subjects we're covering here. And instead, it's men making jokes, talking about other men all day and what's going to happen in a game while Ebola is spreading. Hey, how's Ebola going to affect the bottom line of your stupid football games? You know, I gave up Frisbee golf and everything a long time ago, folks, because I don't have time to play games anymore. You understand that? And all I'm saying is men don't even know how to fight back or speak up because they've never done it. Try turning the ESPN off. Let's go to Susie in Florida. Go ahead, Susie.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so delighted to hear from you.
Thank you.
And I've listened to you since 2005 and looked up everything. And I think that you're a human deluxe and you're the only one I trust. And you taught me a lot of history. And as for that, okay, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm so
Don't be nervous, sweetie. Go ahead.
And I pray for you and your family almost every day because why are they picking on Texas? It's like the borders are down. We don't know what's coming across there. That hospital, they're bringing, everything seems to be going down there. And it's like a coincidence that it's a red state or whatever. And, they had the Israel flight stopped. Remember that? They stopped it completely. And
yeah, well, so did England, so did France, so did Saudi Arabia. Anyone who doesn't want Ebola shuts flights down from Ebola countries. It's a no-brainer that people that have Ebola are going to get on airplanes to go to the West. And listen, here, it hasn't even started yet. As Africa begins to accelerate exponentially with Ebola, where do you think they're going to go?
I mean, it looks like what it has been looking like. And, I mean, they hate America. They're no Ben Franklin, that's for sure. And, I mean, the Israel flights when Gaza was fighting them, and they were trying to blame Israel for them hiding their weapons in schoolhouses.
I know.
Stop that quick enough.
I mean, that's my issue, is everybody lionizes Hamas, and Hamas drags non-radical Muslims to the streets behind motorbikes. And I'm not defending stuff Israel does either, but it doesn't mean that I then jump in bed with the UN's cause celeb, the radical element of the Palestinians. It's all a mess. It's just a total mess. I want to play this John McCain report. Then we'll go to John, James, Nancy, and Matt, and others. But this report is going to premiere on the Nightly News tonight. Well, now it's going to premiere here. A listener sent us this video yesterday, so good job. They shot the video. It's thenolanreport.com, shot by David of thenolanreport.com. The video starts with Colonel Schaefer talking about how Benghazi has a missile deal to arm Syrian rebels via Turkey. Then it cuts to McCain. After a public appearance, he's asked about how we know the arms we are giving the rebels will not fall into the wrong hands. He is then asked directly about the missile deal out of Benghazi, and he says that, yeah, the sun rises out of the west and pigs fly. Remember, they said to Al Gore that not every scientist agrees that man-made global warming is happening. And he said, and the moon landings didn't happen. In real polls, the majority of scientists say man-made global warming is a fraud. It's the sun. But see, they can make a moon landing joke. The video then cuts to Wayne Madsen talking about McCain's past. Again, here is this new video of McCain being confronted, sandwiched with the true skinny on what's happening.
Well, first off, there's a realization, Alex, and you can probably figure all of our options for Syria are bad. I mean, I don't want to get in the details of it getting in trouble, but there's people been fired over telling the truth to the White House, saying, look, these are the options we have, and they're all bad. And by the way, getting involved directly is just going to make things worse, So the whole idea of arming these folks, and let's be honest here, there's clear evidence in my judgment that the Libya consulate that was attacked on the 9/11 anniversary was very much involved in moving, obtaining surface-to-air missiles and other arms from the Libyans and transferring it via the Turks to the rebels in Syria. I just don't think it's in our interest to be doing that sort of thing based on the fact, as you mentioned, Alex, the chances are pretty good this is all going to come back and bite us someday.
Senator, how do we know that the arms that are going to the Syrian rebels are not going to get into the hands of ISIS?
Because if we had people who were there to funnel it to the right people, and I know these people, and I know who they are, and I know how to do it, and so do other people. It's this administration that doesn't want to do it, that is sending them to certain death when they're training them and not preventing Bashar Assad from barrel bombing them. It's disgraceful.
Do you have any
it's immoral.
Comments, do you have any comments about the arms deal from Benghazi getting into the hands of the Syrian rebels?
That didn't happen.
The 15,000 Stinger missiles?
No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Why would you think such a thing? Somebody is really not informing you well.
Tosh Plumley of the CIA said that the 15,000 Stinger missiles got into the hands of the Syrian army.
Yes, and he also said pigs fly and the sun comes up in the west. Sure.
On blackmail. Oh, yes, absolutely. You mentioned McCain. And what do they got on this guy? I mean, obviously, he's blackmailed 3 ways from Sunday. They know he was singing like a canary to his North Vietnamese captors. For 6 months, he was giving operational schedules for U.S. Flights, attack flights into North Vietnam. He also was responsible for the terrible fire on the USS Forrestal that killed, over 200 naval personnel. And he was the first guy taken off because they knew he was responsible because of his hotshot antics. They called him Johnny Wet Start because he would flame his engine out as a form of hazing.
That's NSA whistleblower Wayne Madsen. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. McCain, a total piece of trash, anti-gun, rhino, neocon, and now citizen reporters are out there putting the heat to that traitor's baboon butt. We'll be right back with more of your phone calls straight ahead. Infowars.com/newsletter to get the exclusive videos. There's a new one up there right now. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. We're here live. I'm your host, Alex Jones. Our story that Paul Watson just put up in the last 30 minutes is now linked on the left-hand column of Ebola coverage at drudgereport.com. And that is dealing with riots in Sierra Leone, dealing with Ebola. And it is the social cost of this that is really big. It is the panic that's the real crisis. Police resort to tear gas after body of Ebola victim left in street for 2 days. They're locking people up in giant Ebola ghettos, starving, not letting them out. But hey, there's one way to get out. That's on a U.S.-bound aircraft. I shouldn't laugh. I mean, I'm right here in Texas, right by the epicenter. And, man, this is going to just devastate healthcare more in this country. Unbelievable. John in Wisconsin, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, how you doing? I haven't been on in a while. I've been kind of under the weather, but I'm back now.
Well, good to have you calling in. So what do you think about the situation?
Well, I got two statements about the situation, and I got an analogy for you at the end. First of all, I read an article. I've been following the Ubuntu movement in South Africa, and they said that there were millions of bottles of colloidal silver that were purchased and shipped to Africa.
No, I know. I've seen the letter in the news articles in Africa where they were saying it was helping, and there's an army study, and the government will just freak out and come after anybody that actually covers that study. So I want to agree with the FDA. Colloidal silver is horrible, even though I take it, and it's just the government loves you and Obama loves you.
Well, it's the way it was stated. It sounded like somebody in the government or somewhere refused the shipment. It cost them almost $5 million to ship the.
Yeah, I know it was turned around, but there's also previous reports of people saying it was helpful. I mean, that's really a no-brainer. I'm not saying it's a cure. I don't think anything's a cure-all of something, but undoubtedly other antibiotics are helping as well. Well, silver is a natural antibiotic. It's just not patented, so the big companies can't make money. So they have the government go after anybody that, that tries to promote it and put it out there. All I know is I had 3 family members die from mutated bacteria this year. I got it while at the hospital with my uncle and literally was coughing up blood for 2 months and could barely be on air. It was a month and a half. My dad had it for 2 months. And I drank 2 bottles of colloidal silver in 1 week, and it finally knocked it out. So it worked for me. That's all I can say. Thank God for it. And now I literally have an entire cabinet, not just full of Silver Bullet, but other brands. Because I believe ours is really good, but I don't even, I don't know. It varies person to person. I've got hundreds of bottles. You can go to my house, open the cabinet, and there's like 200 bottles, okay? Because I got to be able to take care of myself and other people. And I think I'm going to get even more. By the way, we're sold out of it. I'm not even promoting it. But yes, I'm aware of all that. And government's been buying it, but they just don't want you to have it. It's unbelievable. And I'm not saying vitamin C is a cure-all, but it certainly in studies shows it boosts your immune system. But they won't tell anybody that stuff. What's your analogy, John? I got to get to other people.
Well, the analogy is I don't know if you remember back in the 60s or 70s, you ever seen any old shows of the Ed Sullivan Show? There was a gentleman on there who was a ventriloquist. His name was Senior Wences.
Yes.
And he had this doll that he painted a face and lips on his hand and put a wig on it, and that was Johnny. Well, the analogy is that Senior Wences is the globalist, Johnny is Obama, and the Democrats. Everything that comes out of a Democrat's mouth is what the globalists want you to know.
That's right, and the Republicans just say enough good stuff to fool you, but they're the other arm of the puppet master as well. So the Tea Party tried to take that over, so they're under attack. The Republican and Democratic leadership are giving more money to defeat Tea Party candidates than to defeat each other. That's even in Politico. Because they know, folks, that the Tea Party is enough common sense to bring them down. A little bit of overdrive coming up to go to James and Matt and Nancy, and I'll try to go to Paul, but each person just be ready. All right, we'll be back. Stay with us. I'm joking, but I think we had Homeland Security breaking in during that ad. A little bit of Love Obama transmission. Let's go to James in Michigan. James, thanks for calling in. You're on the air.
Hello, thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
Carried into the last guest you had on, making a call out for prayer because these are frustrating times. So these are 3 points that I have. They're very frustrating points. One, I'm looking at the global disease outbreak map a couple of days ago. They had all the indicators for where it was happening, where the alerts were coming from, different flagship symbols. But, today I go on it and there's nothing. There's nothing there. And there's no outbreak reports coming out of Mexico. Very peculiar. I'm looking for hazmat suits, AJ. Class A suits, level 4, $1,000 or more. It's out of my range. Class B suits, $150. Class C, $50. Hoping that these manufacturers can do better than that. One other final thing here is I was trying to get in touch with this nurse, Kelly Sykes, S-I-T-E-S. She's out of Eagle, Michigan, and she had come back from Liberia with a couple of the other doctors that contracted the Ebola virus. She did not contract it. She did isolate herself for 21 days before returning back to her family. I could not get in touch with her. Her number's been disconnected. Her husband, Charles, has been resigned.
All right, well, we got to check into these stories. I agree. Everybody should be doing that on the ground. Got to jump. Thank you. Good points. Nancy in Michigan, go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I just wanted to say that something suspicious is going on with this Medicaid, Obamacare thing. I get free rides from Meridian. They contract drivers. And I'm able to get my own driver, but they reimburse you for 41 cents a mile for gas. But their contractors, it seems like the last 4 drivers I had were from West Africa. They could barely speak English. They were driving Lexuses and electric cars and that sort of thing. They were on the phone the whole time, and they actually looking at their phone while they're driving. We were swerving into other lanes.
Well, here's the deal. The country for illegals is literally wide open. That's why they dare not stop the Ebola flights, because we're just totally wide open. And the answer is do it illegally. As long as you do it illegally, you're going to be given everything free. You try to become a citizen naturally, properly, you'll be destroyed. I hear your points. I mean, it just... And as Africa implodes, it will be emptied out into the U.S., now known as the Ebola toilet, the Obola toilet. Thank you, Nancy. Everyone should beg to be the Obama toilet or you're racist. Matt in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Good to talk to you. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I guess I could say I'm reporting to you right here in the epicenter. We've got Texas Presby as well as Mr. Duncan's apartment.
So you're calling from the epicenter of the Ebola toilet in Dallas?
Correct.
Well, tell us about it.
The apartment complex that Mr. Duncan lived in is about 6 blocks north of us as well. The first infected nurse lives about 4 blocks south of us. I can only guess that the second infected nurse that came up recently lives in the immediate area because the news helicopters have been buzzing around gathering their feeds and their footage pretty much since about 6:30 Central Time this morning. It's a very unique experience. You know, my girlfriend and I typically go out and do our grocery shopping every Saturday, and I don't think we're going to be doing that this Saturday, at least not here. We're probably going to go about an hour outside of town to do this, and
that's smart because you're right at the epicenter of it. You're where a lot of us are going to be in a week or two as this probably starts to spread. And just, right. Do you want to thank Obama for letting the foreigners in, and do you want to thank him for leaving the borders open?
I wouldn't really say thank him.
That's because you're racist. The globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com.